Some mic has gone mute.
Yeah, good afternoon to all of you and a very warm welcome to this webinar. This is the 43rd in the series webinar brought to you by Inclusive Human Resource Development Initiative, an initiative that came during the tough times of COVID, and it has survived since last roughly around 1 year now, since last 43 weeks on Sundays. We are having webinars on very important topics and with very eminent people joining us, and the topics that were also very diverse, including entrepreneurship, sustainable development goals, including impact of COVID in economy, on education, and very diverse topics, solid waste management. I mean, you name it and you have it. So all these the earlier recordings and all also they are available on the YouTube channel IHRDI. So if some persons want to go through this, so they are available, and with wonderful speakers who were vice chancellors, chief secretaries, and not only from India and abroad also. So friends, this 43rd in the series webinar today, the topic is how to formulate a business plan. Since when we talk about entrepreneurship, the first step towards going is to set up a business plan, to have a business plan, and that business plan needs to be pitched to the right authorities. And as you know that when we talk about business, we say what is business? Business generally there would be so many definitions and otherwise, but I would say that business is an idea whose time has come. So the timing and idea, they have both to go terminus with each other. See, there are a lot of risks involved into business, and generally we have seen that only 10 to 15% of the all businesses that have set up, they survive, and generally all other businesses, they may not survive, and everybody knows this, including venture capital funds, the angel investors. So that is why they put money on thinking that even if 1 out of 100 survive, the money that will be created will be so huge that it will be able to minimize the losses that have been occurred in the earlier 99. Generally, while we are talking about the idea and a plan, I am reminded of how the founder of Big Bazaar, Shri Kishore Biani, how he came up with an idea of setting up Big Bazaar. He says that while in Mumbai, and we are talking about Mumbai, the retail setups were not even around 1,000 square foot or so, even that point of time. And while he got this opportunity to travel abroad, he found that there were huge retail setups like Amazon and all these Walmarts. So they were these huge retail setups. They were 10,000 square foot or 20,000 or 50,000. So once he came back to India, he decided to set up retail spaces. And today you would have seen that Big Bazaars, they are panning across all over the country, and they have even 1 lakh square foot or even more, which is available. And they were the ones actually who gave the Indians the taste of the shopping in a retail center with all facilities and everything involved under one roof. So that is what idea is therein, and what idea comes up. And today, if you talk in today's time, I am just reminded of Uber, Ola, Zomato, and Oyo. So these are the aggregators. Even without spending a single paisa on capital investment on even the cars or hotel rooms, they are the largest aggregators of hotel rooms, or be it vehicles or taxis, all this. And Zomato, it does not own even a single restaurant, but it is the largest aggregator in terms of the food delivery as such. So the idea whose time has come, that was a time when there was for retail spaces you need to build them the brick and mortar. Today it is all click and portal. So the idea, the time has come. And today, see, when we are talking about entrepreneurs, I have met, because I have been dealing with this number of young people who are very high on passion, very high on josh, कि जी करना है, हमने ये business करना है, because we own a piece of land, or my father is doing this or this. But at the end of the day, business is not only about passion. Business is not only about josh. Business is about hosh also. So josh coupled with hosh becomes a good business plan. And good business, and the business plan or setting up the business plan is the first step towards going towards a hosh, from josh to hosh. So documenting everything that is in mind, and then coming out with the appropriate what is to be done, and estimation, and the future network, what will be my product, what will be my the technical part, from wherein I'll get the machinery or services, who will be my team members, what utilities I'll be creating, what are the products, who are my competitors, what will be the commercial aspects, what compliances I need to do, what are the permissions I would like to have, how do I incorporate, whether it will be a sole proprietorship, or will it be a partnership, or will it be a company format, even in the company, whether it will be a private limited company, or it will be a public limited company, what will be my financial. So everything comes on the piece of paper. So with this becomes a plan, and plan in terms of a business becomes a business plan. Generally, some very wise person has said that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So the same thing is more in business, rather it will be applied more so in business, because a lot of money is involved, and it is a project. Lot of things are at stake, and when we say a project, it is multidisciplinary. It is not like I'm an engineer, I would go through it. No, you are an engineer, you require engineering skills, you require human resource skills, you require marketing skills, you require financial skills, you require system skills. So multidisciplinary people will be approached, and people will be working in the project. And it's a one-off time limited thing. It is not that I'll start up a project and it will go on for years to be completed. No, time has to be there. In otherwise there will be time overruns, or there will be cost overruns, and it is opportunity cost which is involved with all this. So everything needs to be planned, everything needs to be structured, everything needs to be scientifically done. So when this Josh comes up with Hosh, you have a plan. So what you do is you set up a roadmap for structuring of and growing new businesses. How will you set up a new business? How will you grow a new business? From where you will diversify. So if you have everything initially, you will be able to do things in a much better manner. But otherwise, business, will give you a lot of surprises. And without a plan, these surprises will be much more. Even with plan, you will have a number of surprises. But without a plan, you are bound to fail, because these surprises will actually, take it around, and the money is involved, your prestige is involved, the company's products are involved, and the competition is there to pull you down. Today, gentlemen, the wars are not fought on the battleground. The wars are fought in the corporate boardrooms, wherein if you come out with one product, your competitor will come out with number of products in the same category with a higher quality and a lesser price. So you are doomed, and they'll make all your efforts that you are doomed. So all these factors need to be pitched in. When, how, with a business plan, you need to all this. And then if you want to have a pitch, meaning thereby that if you want to go to the investors for angel investors, or to the people who will have equity in your company, you need to have a business plan. They should be very sure that your business not only generates money for yourself, but your business is able to generate money in the long run for the society. And they are, if it's an equity, they would know that this one company is the unicorn out of 100 companies which will make them richer. That 1 rupee share, they can sell it maybe 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees at a later date. So they would look like this. And if you make a pitch to the financial institution or a bank for a loan, they also would like to have somebody who can make up money into the system, so that their loan is repaid and you are also able to make up money. So it's a part of a business plan. Any entrepreneur who wants to start, who wants to grow, who wants to make big, he has, the first step that he has to have is idea generation with a lot of research into the field. And thereafter, he should come up with a business plan which should cover all aspects that are required. Not only the product, not only the pricing, not only the strategies in terms of incorporation, the government compliances, the technical or machinery part, the logistics part, the financial and the technical part, economic aspects, and even the social cost benefit analysis, because today that has become very important. Friends, I'll not take much long on this, because today we have two very eminent panelists who will be speaking on in a detailed manner. And not only they are theoretical people, they are the practical people who have seen it, done it all. They would have started with business plans. And to just balance this aspect, today we have amongst ourselves Mr. Ekant Agarwal and Mr. Pancham Kajla. What we have done is, one is a commercial, Mr. Ekant Agarwal, I'll introduce him. He's a commercial person who comes up with a business plan in the commercial domain. And Mr. Pancham is a social entrepreneur who comes up in a business plan in a social domain, helping people out. But business plan is again a business plan. Generally, with a tweak, it could be a test error one day or a T20. But cricket is cricket, and the skills required are somewhat similar, but somewhat different also. So just let me, it's my privilege and honor to introduce Mr. Ekant Agarwal. He is the founder and chief executive officer of Ekant Associates, which is a legal consultation firm. He is by educational qualification, law graduate and a Master of Business Administration or MBA. And he is also legal head of NETS, MATS and SABIS group of institutions. He is also associated with Gulzar institutions, and in his own right and domain, he is a social and philanthropic activities he keeps on doing. And he has received a number of awards from varied number of institutions. He is also associated with number of professional bodies in his domain and work, and he is also practicing advocate who's helping a lot in terms of not only to the clients but also to those people who cannot afford. So welcome, Mr. Ekant Agarwal, and very thank you for joining this podium on a Sunday afternoon. I know you are a busy man and taking out time. So thank you, and I am very sure that your discourses and your experiences will be very much enlightening our audience who have joined today. So friends, the second panelist of the day is Mr. Pancham Kajla. Mr. Pancham is the founder of Anuprayas, and Anuprayas is a social institution. It's an NGO which is there for advocating accessible, inclusive spaces for people with disabilities. So it's a startup which is working for providing equitable, inclusive spaces for differently abled persons who are not so privileged. Maybe there's some issues out there. So they are working on this aspect since long. And he's a young social entrepreneur, and he's also the chairperson of Young Indians Chandigarh chapter, which is a part of the CII. So welcome, Mr. Pancham, and I hope today this will be very enlightening having you on this platform, and it will help a lot, especially the youth who have joined today, learning what business plan is all about, how to set up a business plan, how to go about it, what aspects to see. So we start up with Mr. Ekant Agarwal, who will share his story with you and tell you about how to start up a business and what plan, how to come it up, from where to document, how to research and all. So welcome, Mr. Ekant Agarwal, and the podium is all yours now.
So thanks a lot for giving a lovely introduction. It is a lovely afternoon, and I must say I should wish everybody a very, very good afternoon. And let's make this afternoon so wonderful that we take something out of it today. And definitely, let's start it with a small prayer, which I always enchant when I start my mornings. It is a 70-year-old prayer known as Prayer of Serenity. So that is, as God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. भगवान मुझे क्षमता दो, जो चीजें मैं बदल नहीं सकता उसको मैं वैसे ही स्वीकार करूं. Courage to change the things I can, उन चीजों को बदल सकूं जो बदली जा सके. And wisdom to know the difference. अगर ये चीज हमें पता चल गई, हमें सक्सेसफुल होने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता. कोई बिजनेस प्लान हमारा फेल नहीं होगा, कोई स्टेप हम कभी भी लें कभी खराब नहीं होगा. Let's start the session. So as the topic goes on, it says business plan, formulation of business plan, or we can say कि एक business plan में क्या क्या होना चाहिए. So there are two things. Since I am associated with the startup ecosystem from last 10 years, even before Startup India, Stand Up India came, in 2010 itself, I was into startup ecosystem. So I will share उस time पे और इस time पे क्या फर्क रहेंगे, what are the differences, and what a traditional business plan is, which is actually now everywhere available, even on the Google. But there is a modern business plan also, which is a little bit different, and the investors today like to know that business plan. Their minds have changed. So starting with the traditional business plan. So in traditional business plan, the first point, we will go point wise. The first point goes is executive summary. So हमें सबसे पहले ध्यान रखना है कि हमें एक executive summary बनानी है. अब इसको I'm explaining in Hindi as well. Executive summary means the summary of an executive like CEO, Chief Executive Officer. So meaning thereby, CEO is somebody who's very busy in doing everything. So summary should be so concise that the executive should understand it. That is the basic meaning of an executive summary. उसमें हम क्या क्या रखेंगे? So it should have description of your products, services, small aggregation of your business, and the idea plus what you want to accomplish. आप करना क्या चाहते हैं? And also details of the experience जो आपके पास है कि आप उस इंडस्ट्री में एंटर तो कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आपका एक्सपीरियंस उस इंडस्ट्री के बारे में क्या है. So that should be there in an executive summary. Secondly, we should have company's description. So like as rightly said by Dr. Sanjeev ji, company may be a private limited company, it may be a LLP, it may be a, you can say proprietorship also, it can be unregistered partnership also, it can be public limited, various forms of companies. So why I am saying this, that company needs a description. यहाँ पे आप बताएंगे कि आपकी कंपनी की लीगल एंटिटी क्या है, उसकी स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, उसमें इंक्लूजन्स क्या है, आपके टारगेटेड कस्टमर क्या है, आपके गोल क्या है, आपका मिशन क्या है, आपका विजन क्या है. That is basically a company's description. And legal entity plays a very big role. So mind my words, आप जब भी देखेंगे, कभी भी कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट अगर बड़ी हुई है, that has always been done in private limited company. It has never been done in a LLP or it has never been done in a partnership. Startup India, for the benefits of startups, recognizes three types of legal entities. One is partnership, second is LLP, third is private limited companies. So, but the best out of that is private limited. So if you are starting small, start with the LLP, then eventually convert it to a main private limited company. So now, after giving company's description, where you have shared कि आप क्या चीज कर रहे हैं, आपके स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, आप सक्सेस कैसे पाएंगे, या आपकी कंपनी के एडवांटेजेस क्या है, बीइंग अ प्राइवेट लिमिटेड आपको क्या फायदे हैं. Then the third point, that is market analysis. Now I have given description of my company, so I have to give market analysis. मार्केट में किस स्पेसिफिक मार्केट में मैं अपने आप को ट्राई कर रहा हूँ, मेरी मार्केट क्या है, और डेटा और स्टैट्स हमें जरूर स्टडी करने हैं मार्केट के. wherein what I say is you have to break down the industry trends. आपको छोटे छोटे ट्रेंड्स विजुलाइज करने हैं एंड एनालिसिस करना है आपके टारगेटेड कस्टमर का. मेरे कस्टमर को क्या चाहिए, उसकी बाइंग हैबिट्स क्या हैं, सर्विसेज उसको क्या चाहिए, उसकी नीड क्या है. अबव ऑल इसके जो नंबर्स निकलेंगे, नंबर शुड हेल्प आंसर व्हाई योर बिजनेस कैन डू बेटर. लाइक मे बी giving you a small live example, I was thinking that I am also an individual, a part of the humankind, and how should I help everybody in these times of corona. So thereby setting, I thought of an idea कि why not create a COVID-19 support group on WhatsApp itself. एक छोटा सा ग्रुप बनाता हूँ, उसमें I will invite people, one who is supplying oxygen, remdesivir, all the injections and the remedies, and one who needs it. And you won't believe, I created a group, posted on FB, within 40 minutes. I was expecting कि 10-15 लोग ज्वाइन करेंगे, पहले उसको टेस्ट करेंगे, एग्जिट करेंगे. 200 people joined it. Think about it. And that group is doing wonders. I am receiving calls day and night. People are saying, thank you, you have saved lives. Think about it. So that is actually, market. That is actually what people need. That is an example wherein I studied the habits कि लोगों को क्या चाहिए, क्या market चाहिए, and the business numbers are huge. It is like, my friend is there, he's into social entrepreneurship. It is a social cause. So yes, but it can be example. Moving to the fourth point, competitive analysis. So please don't down that. If now, once we have studied the market, we have to study the competition. A good business plan will always give you clear comparison of your business versus anybody who's doing the same business. So that has to be studied with SWOT. SWOT analysis you all might be aware of. That is strength, your weakness, opportunities and threat. So SWOT हमें जरूर करना है of the competition. And to study SWOT, I'll share you a very funny example. You know, I listened this from Harvard person. तो उसको थोड़ा सा मैंने इंडियन तड़का लगा दिया, लेकिन आज जो SWOT का तरीका मैं आपको बताऊंगा आप जिंदगी में नहीं भूलेंगे. So Santa and Banta were talking on SWOT. Now somebody asked Santa, कि यार ये SWOT तू मुझे बता. So Santa says, my strength is my wife, right? Weakness is Banta's wife, right? Opportunity, when Banta is out. Threat, when I am out. So this is SWOT. Now you will never forget what is SWOT. So while doing competition analysis or competitive analysis, you should prevent jumping into marketing. You should prevent jumping into sales. First study your SWOT, your goal and the competition. वो क्या provide कर रहा है and how you are unique. You have to make your USP while doing the competition analysis. Then is fifth, your business plan should definitely have description of the management and the organization. कि आपके business में कौन लोग हैं, उनकी primary job responsibilities क्या हैं, what skills they have, and do indicate again the structure, who is doing what. This is needed. Then the sixth point, break down your products and services. Now, when we make a business plan, we have to give details of the services and the products separately. These are the products. I will supply this product, and then I will give these services related to the product. So best part and trade secret is not the product you are selling, the after sale services. Your customer comes back because of your after sale. Your money comes back because of your after sales. Classic example. You all are aware of Ford cars. Now Ford Endeavor is a very big hit. Why? Is it a very good vehicle? Yes, but Toyota may be the better vehicle. So Ford doesn't give their parts, their spare parts in the open market. This is after sale. What they do is they give you the product. Then whenever there is something which you need, you have to go to a Ford dealer only. This is how they are managing their after sales. So break down your products and services in such a manner, product is sold, but there is a royalty called services which can be provided on that product. That should be there. Then seventh, marketing plan. Now everything is ready, product is ready, services are ready, we have done everything. So now you will break down here the steps you will take to promote your products, the budgets that you will need to implement your strategies. वो आपको यहाँ लिखना है. Then the eighth point, that is sales strategy. Now after marketing, the sales should come. Sales basically is you need to hire actual sales people. Sales may, see, my viewpoint and maybe others' viewpoint may be different, but I tell you, you might not be the right person to do a sale. You are an entrepreneur, you should do products and services and your business. Sales, special sales representative should be hired. Always recruit them, bring them on your board and give them sales targets. See, my friend, they are the earning members of the family. एक business एक family होता है, उसमें जिसको हम पंजाबी में बोलते हैं कमाऊ पुत, those are sales people. So always have a kamaau put in your family and see your company will grow. Then, if it is a business plan wherein we are raising capital, then ninth point is request for funding. There will be a small section which will focus on the amount of money you need, why you need, and why you want to raise with additional funding that you may require. Lastly, wherein investor is always interested, that is financial projection. आपको अपनी financial projection देनी है breakdown of the goals, expectations, 12 months market research, second, third, fourth till fifth year of the business you have to provide. And if you are applying for a personal loan or a business loan, you have to provide that also in the information. That is the traditional business plan. I hope everybody is with me. So I can move to the modern business plan as well.
Yeah, please.
In the meanwhile, sir, can I share a small story on teamwork?
Yeah, please.
Great. So a small, very funny story. You know, I stole it out from पंचतंत्र की कहानियां. बड़ी मजेदार कहानी है, मैं आपको फटाफट सुनाता हूँ. तो होता क्या है, एक कुएं में सोना पड़ा था और उसके ऊपर एक पेड़ पे, पीपल के पेड़ पे एक भूत रहता है. उसका ये स्कीम होती है कि जो भी सोना लेने आएगा मैं छलांग मार के उसको खा जाऊंगा. सो वहां पे गांव में एक संता और बंता, दो आदमी रहते थे. संता कहता कि यार मैं सोना लेके आऊं. तो संता गोज देयर, अपनी वाइफ को बोलता है कि रस्सी लेके आओ, बेटे को बोलता है कि आग लेके आओ, और बेटी को बोलता है कि आप जाके कुल्हाड़ी लेके आओ. भूत डर जाता है कि यार ये तो मुझे पेड़ से बांध के, रस्सी से बांध देंगे, डंडे से पिटाई करके कुल्हाड़ी से काट देंगे या आग लगा देंगे. वो छलांग मार के भाग जाता है और ये अपना सोना लेके वापस आ जाते हैं. नाउ बंता सीज कि यार ये संता तो सोना ले आया, मेरी भी बारी है, मैं भी सोना लेके आऊं. ही गोज देयर. वो जाता है, अपनी वाइफ को बोलता है कि जाओ रस्सी का अरेंजमेंट करो. आगे से जवाब मिलता है, अब इस उम्र में फांसी लेके मरेगा क्या? तो यार वो कहता है अब रस्सी का क्या करूं. बेटी को बोलता है, जाओ बेटी डंडा लेके आओ. कहती पापा कोई बात नहीं, आप ऐसे भी चल सकते हो, डंडे की आपको जरूरत नहीं है. बेटे को बोलता है जाओ आग का प्रबंध करो. वो कहता है ना ना पापा, मेरे तो हाथ जल जाएंगे, मैं नहीं आग लाऊंगा. एंड द गोस्ट रियलाइजेस कि यार इनकी कोई टीम वर्क नहीं है, ये अपने लीडर पे फोकस नहीं कर रहे. वो छलांग मारता है और उन सबको खा जाता है. सो दैट इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ टीम वर्क. नाउ रिमेंबर ऑलवेज, कुछ भी करें, बिजनेस भी करें, प्लान भी बनाएं, कीप अ टीम अलोंग विद योरसेल्व्स. मूविंग टू मॉडर्न बिजनेस प्लान. I'll quickly grab a glass of water. Thank you. So, in a modern business plan, the things which are different and what we should have is, first we should give the definition of the problem. आज की डेट में इन्वेस्टर ये सुनना चाहता है कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है. सेकंड इज उसका सोल्यूशन क्या है और उसका लोगों को बेनिफिट क्या है. सो फर्स्ट यू विल एक्सप्लेन कि दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम व्हिच इज देयर, एंड देन द सोल्यूशन हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू सॉल्व इट. एंड रिमेंबर, अवॉइड एनी assertions like every customer need this. वो हम बिजनेस प्लान में नहीं लिखेंगे. या नेक्स्ट जनरेशन प्लेटफॉर्म बहुत ज्यादा कॉमन वर्ड हो गया है. These words, or you can say jargons, means nothing and you are losing your credibility. उसमें लोगों को पता चल जाता है कि आप ये चोरी करके लाए हो कहीं से या किसी और से बनवाया है. तो ये चीजें मेजर वर्ड्स मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. एवरी कस्टमर नीड्स दिस और नेक्स्ट जनरेशन प्लेटफॉर्म और वेरी गुड प्लेटफॉर्म, ये चीजें नहीं यूज करनी. यू जस्ट हैव टू एक्सप्लेन द प्रॉब्लम एंड सॉल्व इट. Right? Then third, industry and market sizing. This is like, you will say, capture the evolution of the overall industry. कि market कहाँ जा रही है, कहाँ तक वो gaps fill कर चुकी है और क्या gap रह गया है. Study those market dynamics. Study customer landscape. Relevant chart, graphs, figures. Sell a story. आपने एक स्टोरी बेचनी है. आज की डेट में एक स्टोरी बिकती है. अगर मैं कहता हूँ कि एक बिल्डिंग बनी है, ए ने बनाई, एंड इट इज अ वेरी गुड बिल्डिंग, उसमें बड़ा कुछ है, आप जाइए. दूसरी मैं बोलता हूँ कि ये आदमी पहले एक मजदूर था, इसने खुद पहले एक कमरे की बिल्डिंग बनाई, 2 की बनाई, फिर 5 पे पहुंचा. अब इसकी बिल्डिंग में वो चीजें हैं जो इसको पता थी कि होनी चाहिए. यू विल डेफिनेटली चूज द बिल्डिंग बी बिकॉज देयर वाज अ स्टोरी विद इट. So a story should be there. This is modern. Fourth, explanation of the business model. अब business models already have been explained कि किस टाइप के कितने business models हैं. So you should clearly tell आप कौन सा business model follow कर रहे हैं. At a glance itself, पता चल जाना चाहिए कि आपका बिजनेस मॉडल ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल रखता है कि नहीं. फिफ्थ, कंपटीशन एंड सस्टेनेबल एडवांटेज. जैसे ट्रेडिशनल भी था कि दिस इज माय कंपटीशन, बट मॉडर्न में हम इंक्लूड किसको करेंगे? जैसे अगर मैं एक कार बेच रहा हूं, अगेन टेकिंग एग्जांपल, मैं मोटरसाइकिल और ट्रेन को कंपेयर करना नहीं बोलूंगा. ट्रेडिशनल में मैं कार को कार से ही कंपेयर करता था, मॉडर्न में नहीं. मॉडर्न में आई विल कंपेयर माय कार विद अ मोटरसाइकिल आल्सो, विद अ ट्रेन आल्सो. That will give the highlights and the barriers and will keep your competitors away. Sixth, that is sales strategy. Make a strategy, make a good map and the timeline of a key milestones. Timelines रखने बहुत जरूरी है. And you should include strategic partnerships. ये आपकी partnerships भी हैं जो आपकी help करेंगे into sales. Then the investor says कि yes, this person is right. ये already partnerships पे चल रहा है, team building पे चल रहा है, distribution channels पे चल रहा है. This is the right person. Seventh, executive team. Again, you should show, as versus to traditional, the advisory board, the industry players. आपके साथ कौन कौन है? जैसे giving you example of this session, if I say Dr. Sanjeev Chadha is with me, people will say yes, ये बंदा ठीक है यार, संजीव जी उनके साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, right? So, not only the team you have chosen to work in your company, but the advisory board also. किसके पास suggestions और guidance और mentoring किसकी है? Then come to the funding requirement. Funding requirement में you have to include your sweat equity. ये मॉडर्न चीज सिखाती है कि आप भी तो कुछ कर रहे हो. Your labor is there. Your sweat equity should be there. Your hours saved in exchange of a percentage to the company, opposed to a cash salary, should be there. Then financial forecast of the next 5 years and the exit strategy. In traditional, there was no exit strategy, but in modern times, we have to give exit strategy कि ये company इस level पे पहुंच जाएगी, उसके बाद investor can exit, and this is what he will get. This is to be given. This is, I'll say, the closure of traditional and the modern business plans, and I hope I am on time.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Ekant Agarwal, and it was a very comprehensive presentation and a talk on the subject, and including both the traditional as well as the modern business plans. And since time was also short that way, but I think we have got an insight into what a business plan is all about. Now things can be built across this aspect. So thanks a lot for a very comprehensive and a very detailed but in a brief time this presentation, which will be very helpful to all of us, especially the young participants who have joined today. So we'll take the questions later on. Now I request Mr. Pancham to take it forward from here in and to speak about his own experiences and his business plans and with regard to the social aspects. Yeah, Mr. Pancham, the dais is all yours.
Yes. Very good afternoon to you all, and thank you, Dr. Sigi, for inviting me for this talk, and an amazing insights from Mr. Ekant as well. Wish I could have had this opportunity to listen to him some 7 to 8 years ago. So, so yeah, just to share my journey, which was very raw, being a first-gen entrepreneur. As I come from a family where the last 3 generations, they were into service. So I'm more of an accidental social entrepreneur, and I can actually tell the things which one can actually avoid. So that's what I said, that wish I had this opportunity to listen to someone like Ekantji some 7 8 years ago, then the story would have been different. So just to give a little background, I'm a mechanical engineer. So, and luckily I got placed in Infosys, and my parents, they were very happy. They said, okay, our kid is sorted. Now he got into a decent job, like one of the most eminent companies. I think I worked there for about 4 years. Then I don't know what happened. I thought of, doing something of my own. I wasn't getting that satisfaction, though financially and other ways it was pretty good. So then me and my friend all of a sudden decided to start restaurant business. So, and from a place like Mysore, we started 2 restaurants. right on the heart of Bangalore. If anybody knows, there's a place called MG Road. So right next to Starbucks, we started restaurants, and we ran for about 2 years. But then again, we literally jumped into that F&B sector without having any prior knowledge, without any systems, I would say, and it was a complete failure. So we eventually had to shut down. But then I also would like to add, but during this time, I was inclined towards social activities. Even when I was in Infosys, I was the youngest CSR head. So I used to spend my time in, going to orphanages, blind schools. I used to meet cancer patients. So that's how I realized that, this is something which I need to do. And during those interactions, I made a very good bond with people who were blind. So I had a lot of blind friends. So, and this was something which I used to do parallelly. I used to do some sort of activities with them. And in 2015, when we were shutting down our restaurant, then the plan was to move back to Chandigarh. One of my blind friend, he suggested that, we need some braille signage in a railway station because we end up missing our trains. And then I end up going to the DRM office and suggested that, this is something which we need to do. And he said, why don't you take up this? And that's how it all started. And in 2015 November, we gave India's first blind-friendly railway station. And till that time, it wasn't even my plan A. It was more or less, I had to do something parallelly along with my work. And then I had to come back. Then all of a sudden, we were in news, and then Railways again asked that why don't you do more projects for us? So then we did India's first blind-friendly railway train. And until that time, I still did not figure out what exactly I'm supposed to do that. So I was getting projects, we were doing good stuff, but I did not have a clear structure. So that's where the importance of business plan come into play. So I wanted to do the social work, but at the same time, I also wanted to, have my own sustainability also. So because when you say that you're from a social sector, people, they perceive that, you have to, you're not supposed to prioritize yourself. So then I sat with my CS, said that, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but I also need to take care of my sustainability as well. So that's when he suggested that along with the NGO, you're also supposed to make it into a social enterprise. So you need to have your own company as well. So then and when we were working with Railways, so when they suggested that, we can't work with you as an NGO, you're supposed to have your own company so that you can get into the tender process and all. So one takeaway, you have to have a good CA by your side who can suggest you in terms of legal. And now all we know that if you need any sort of help, I think Mr. Ekant is a person to be. So that is one thing which I learned. And also, and again, again, it's very debatable also in my personal capability. I also like to add that your intent and action also surpasses than Excel sheets. So when we say, or when we talk about business plans, I see a lot of startups which, they come up with plans and they keep, get fixated with their business plan and they do not take any action. So, and having said that, you also can't just, jump into the sea without an action plan. So you have to have a balance. You have to take action as well, but you also need to get your basic homework done. And as I said, now these days there is enough content available. There are enough templates. You have business coaches, online platform, courses, books to do a basic homework or a basic R&D or a basic ideation, or as he will mention about the SWOT analysis. So these are the things or the tools which one need to do before really starting up. And since I come from a social sector, even I'll still say that you have to be a giver. You have to have your intent right. So, and even I believe in this philosophy. It's a Punjabi thing we say Nitanu Murada, that if intent is out, things will work in your favor. And also when I say that you have to be a giver, you have to be given without any expectations that, okay, you're doing a favor to some XYZ, then you're not supposed to have expectation that I've done something for him and then he's liable to return the favor. So you have to be a giver, and trust me, things do work out. And even when I started out during 2014 and 15, when I was in Mysore, so during that project also, all of a sudden, the people in Mysore, they somehow joined with me. They said that, Pancham, you be the forefront. Like we'll be happy to support you in your back end process. So I got a lot of support from people. And again, it's like a movement. You pick something and you won't even get to know that there are people behind you. Even as Ekant also mentioned that he started with a WhatsApp group, and all of a sudden there were people who were backing up. So if your intent is right, if your intentions are right, and if you're doing the right work, you will find people. And you actually need not to go out and look for people. You just have to do your thing right, and trust me, people will find you and they'll come and join with your mission or whatever initiative you are planning to take. So these are the few insights which I would like to add. And also, again, I'm just speaking on my personal capacity. All the learnings or the mistakes or whatever insights I have had over the last 7-8 odd years. Also, success is clumsy. Don't strive for perfection. So I am a person who believes that everything has to be spick and span, and due to that process we end up procrastinating a lot. That it has to be again, it also applies to your business plan. A lot of people, they try to just work on the aesthetics, but they fail to take action. So that is also there. But then again, success is clumsy. And it's okay, if you fail, or if your text or your PPT it's not that contrasting, or if some word is capital or something of that sort. And also, again, I was a person who somehow jumped into practicals without any theory. So but these days, I think, as I already mentioned, there is enough content. There is actually numerous options available where you can educate yourself, and get your homework done before you jump into the startup thingy. And yes, and also when we have a good business plan, it also actually helps you in a couple of other things. Firstly, it keeps you accountable, because accountability, again, is something which has to be there. Without accountability, there's no point of then we say, no, without accountability, it's just dreams, they are not goals. So that's the act. So a goal is actually a dream with a timeline, or with a set timeline. So when you have a plan on board, so you're actually giving timelines, so that has to be there. And then again, there's something which I realized of late, that I have to put timelines. Without timelines, it's just you're saying random things or just putting out there. So that's a very common difference between a dream and a goal. So you have to have goals, and goals have to have with timelines. And yes, of course, it also helps you in terms of funding, because if you are going out to an investor, so they need to have a fair idea what you want to do, what's your intent, and where you want to be. Again, it's all about number games, we say. So that also helps you a lot. And then you set your projections and your targets. So these are again a very basic ingredients which are required when you are reaching out to any investor, I'll say. And yes, I think with that note, I think I've shared my part of the journey, and I'll be open for questions. So yeah, that's it from my end.
Right, and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pancham, and you were very brief, and it all came from your heart, I suppose. And this was a wonderful journey from being an employee to social entrepreneur, and then doing philanthropy, and then even putting in that perspective that you have your own sustainability also. And one thing which I would like to emphasize from your talk was that there has to be a balance between the plans and the action. Rather, somebody said that the worst of plans without the best of plans without no action is worse than an action without no plans. So, because at the end of the day, if there is no action, nothing will come out. And even a bad action, even with bad action, something will come out. Maybe it could be negative also, but there will be something which could always be. So that's very right that you should see the depth of the water first. See if it is a shallow water, and then you should try to jump into that aspect. So that way, planning is very much important. But along with planning, you need to have that action part also, wherein at one end you would say that okay, now no planning, we need to execute. And then if you have your eyes and ears open, you would see that many things you need that come up, you just innovate during that time period also. So that flexibility is also there. And I remember, how Patanjali group came around, Baba Ramdev. See, he is the one who is, he does not have any kind of trainings. He does not have any kind of educational qualification. He does not have any kind of finance or capital. So they just did it. They just did it, and things started rolling. And thereafter, the idea was what you said was intent. That networking was there, that meeting with people, the right kind of people, having a team, and then the people joins. If your intent is right, if your goal is right, so people join that path. So that's very nice of you to have spoken about all this. So now I think we have a lot of time left, rather both the speakers, and we have
Since we have a lot of time, I'll even would like to share another personal insight. I'll say as a learning which I'll like to add, especially from a social perspective. Since I was involved in the social sector for so long, so in social sector we have this perception that if you are working as an NGO or a volunteer, so you're not supposed to make money. It's not considered good, and also you are supposed to behave in a certain way. So even when I was working as part-time volunteers, so they expect you to behave or even wear appropriately, that you belong to a social sector, which is not right. And that is also something which a lot of people, they do not aspire to, because they think that if you are from a social sector, you have to cut down your aspirations, which is absolutely absurd. So that also one of the reasons a lot of people, they don't want to, or they don't aspire to be in a social sector. So there's nothing as there's enough and a lot to do in social sector. I mean, end of the day, you can take care of yourself and impact lives. So that is also something which I love to add or share my insight. So, and there was a time when I become so conscious that even if I'm wearing a fancy or an expensive watch, I used to that people, they might judge that this guy, he's running an NGO and he's wearing a fancy watch. So it took me a time to accept that it's absolutely okay. And even when we travel or when we take a flight, so even the flight attendant, they say that in case of an emergency, make sure you take the oxygen first and then you help the other person. So yeah, so you have to take care of yourself and then make sure that you impact others. And yes, then again, as a closing remark, intent over Excel sheets. So if that is there, things will work in your favor as well.
Right. Thank you, Pancham. Very nice and quite exhaustive, I would say, and a lot of learning, especially for my young future and prospective entrepreneurs. So this journey of yours will be good. And I would add upon, even for the social sector, this will give you a lot of satisfaction also, apart from fulfilling all your basic needs and even other needs also. Like in Punjabi, we could say that, nale pon te nale faliyan. So which you'll not be getting. Though now even the corporate sector is forced to have a CSR kind of initiative, wherein you'll have to churn out 2% of the entire profits, and you have to do philanthropic activities. So the government has come out this change in the Indian Companies Act, so that has to be done. But in social sector, your first objective is the social or the society, and then if it is sustainable, it is wonderful, and no need to be no need to be so much scared about not having. I mean, you have your aspirations, and that should be fulfilled. So I think now we have lot many examples of people who are doing both these aspects. और फिर इसको अगर बोलें कि लक्ष्मी और सरस्वती का मैनेजमेंट जितना अब इस युग में हुआ है, उतना शायद पहले कभी नहीं हुआ. Initially, you would see that those people who had Saraswati Mata, so that means who were very intelligent, and people like teachers and all, they were very poor, or they were, just hand to mouth.
Yeah.
And those people who were with Lakshmi, though they were very rich, but they were not academically sound. But
Yeah.
now in this era, if you see last around 10, 15, 20 years, आपने देखा होगा कि दोनों का बड़ा अच्छा बैलेंस चल रहा है, कि लोग इंटेलिजेंट भी हैं. I am reminded of Chetan Bhagat, and I am reminded of many other persons, Bill Gates and all, who are rich also and who are very intelligent also. So that aspect is also seen. So now I think we have some, quite a bit of time with us. We can take a few questions. One question we can start off with. I think Professor Mohammed, Dr. Mohammed Suleiman had raised 3-4 questions. So Dr. Mohammed, I will request you to speak out your questions and queries, and the panel request the panelists to answer those. Dr. Mohammed, am I audible? Yeah, please. Yeah, Dr. Suleiman, you may please ask your question. You had written it in because we have time, so I think it will be better if you directly ask. Please introduce yourself and ask the questions. Dr. Suleiman, am I audible? Okay, so I think, yeah, Dr. Suleiman, am I audible? So will you like to ask the questions directly? So I think some problem with his audio. So meanwhile, there's a question from Dr. Rani Mehta, and I think this is for the social entrepreneur, Mr. Pancham, that she says that if we want to start up a kind of a social enterprise, so do we need a professional or a management engineering background, or do we need a team of people to start up, or it's that anyone can start it up, or do we need people to actually start it?
Firstly, I would suggest any person can start volunteering for NGOs or for a cause to which person associate or kind of connect with. So if let's say if we have a working professional who's working, let's say Monday to Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, like weekends are usually free, so they can devote a day where they can volunteer, and it can be any cause which they relate to. And once you do it over the period of time, then you somehow become part of the cause itself, and then you can explore how big or what exactly you want to do out of it. Even if you want to do it on a larger scale, then you have to, again, then the business plan comes into play. So if you talk about me, I started out as volunteering. So Monday to Friday I used to work, and Saturday I used to spend my time in, as I said, different blind schools and blind centers, where I end up making a lot of friends, and then I identified their problem, and then came up with a solution for that. So then that's something which you learn over the process. It doesn't mean that you go there one day and then you end up coming with the solution. It's a process. So best way to do is spend your weekends, or at least I'll say a day in a week, where you can volunteer depending on the cause you relate to. So that's the whole point. And over the time, once you get equipped, when you understand, what are the key challenges, and then you try to seek a solution to that, and voila, you have your startup.
Right. Thank you, Pancham. Mr. Agarwal, would you like to add upon what Pancham has talked about?
Sure. He has otherwise given the complete answer. Just a small in a gist. Whenever we want to do anything, maybe not of our field, just jump into it. Get yourself dirty. एक बारी जब हम कूद गए मिट्टी में, हमें समझ आ जाएगा मिट्टी है क्या. मतलब simple, because I have done कुश्ती also in earlier college days. तो अखाड़े में जब तक नहीं जाओगे, पता नहीं चलेगा कि दूसरा पहलवान कैसे रगड़ेगा, मिट्टी क्या होती है. तब तक तो जो मतलब आप कह लीजिए हमारी गाड़ी में भी अगर मिट्टी आ जाए ना, हम कहते हैं इस मैट को झाड़ दो, फिर समझ आता है अखाड़े में पहुंच के कि यार मिट्टी क्या चीज है. So we have to jump into it, whatever we want to do.
Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Mohammad Suleiman, now am I audible? Would you like to raise your queries? Dr. Suleiman? Dr. Suleiman, you're not audible. आपका voice नहीं आ रहा. Now it is muted. Yeah, it is unmuted, but your voice is not there. No, we are not able to. Voice is not there. Okay, so I think I'll raise the questions that he raised in the chat box. I'll read it out. He says there is no ready-made strategy for starting a business. It depends upon the market survey. It is an observation. I think, Kant, would you like to react to this?
That is true, because market is changing daily, and in such times like pandemic is going on, so things are very, very volatile, changing every day. Even like being an investor into stock markets also, I tell you, in just 2 frames day, I was buying SBI at the rate of 284, and then it was to 384, and it was 330. Think about it, 54 rupees downfall in 2 days. So market is very, very volatile. We have to study market daily. Dynamics are changing daily. So no set formulas. We have to change ourselves according to the fashion, the trends which are going on.
True. Yeah, Pancham, would you like to add to this? You muted. Yeah,
I think he answered, and he is the appropriate person to answer this technical question. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the another query by Dr. Mohammad Suleiman is that there may be severe competition between the various businesses, and at all levels, starting up at the shop level also. And most of the big companies, they are discouraging the selling of the same commodities in one area.
True.
So he says, I mean, there's a lot of competition, especially for the startups, and how to get about all this. And actually, this is discouraging also. So I think this is one way wherein people are discouraged to go into business. That there are many big companies. How would I go into it? They'll gobble me up. मैं तो कुछ नहीं हूँ. बड़े-बड़े लोग बैठे हैं, fail हो जाते हैं. So I think he wants to. Yeah. Your take on this, Ekant?
सब बड़ा देसी आंसर दूंगा अपनी लाइफ के साथ रिलेटेड. So thing is like there is a person in sector 21. He's a big time car dealer and a financer. So I was selling my Lancer car. Lancer बड़ी पहले आउटडेट हो गई थी, Mitsubishi Lancer. So I went to him. I said कि अंकल तजिंदर अंकल उनका नाम है कि अंकल इस गाड़ी को बेचना है. तो वो कहते कोई बात नहीं, परचेजर हम ढूंढ लेंगे, आप गाड़ी मेरे पास खड़ी कर दो 2 महीने के लिए. मैंने कहा नहीं, मुझे अभी बेचनी है इसको. तो कहते हैं रेडी परचेजर नहीं है, लेकिन इसका परचेजर पैदा हो चुका है, मुझे इतना पता है. So that was a solution which I got from him, और वो तब से आज तक मेरे पास वो 10 साल का solution है कि मेरी सर्विस, मेरे प्रोडक्ट का परचेजर पैदा हो चुका है, सिर्फ मुझे उसे ढूंढना है. मेरा छोटा सा काम रह गया, वो पैदा हो चुका है, मुझे ढूंढना है. मैं ढूंढ लूंगा, और मेरा अपने आप पे बिलीफ है कि हाँ यार मैं उसको ढूंढ लूंगा और मेरी प्रोडक्ट सर्विस बिकेगी ही बिकेगी. So that is maybe. Yeah.
Wonderful, very nice, and very related, and I think very easy to understand with this answer. Pancham, would you like to add upon, especially in the social entrepreneur area, whether is there any competition there as well?
It's not about competition. It's more about the perspective. I'll say कि अगर जैसे बोल रहे हैं कि किसी particular domain या subject में competition है, so that's actually a good thing that a lot of people they are putting their time and effort into it, and they see a scope ki is cheez mein aage potential hai. So that's actually a good thing and it's a healthy thing. Agar competition nahi hoga, then you are not improving or improvising. It's actually good to have competition, I'll say. So yeah, agar and then jab bhi competition hota hai, then you also try to explore and find ways to that, how can I be a step further from that person. If it's a monopoly, then you're not progressing, then you are stuck in that particular thing. So it's actually interesting. Then you start coming up with strategies how to take that extra step which the others they are not doing. Just even in the question he said that in one particular space, if we have shops selling the similar commodity, then you have to find ways ki un 10 mein se how do I be the number one, how can I be better than the rest of 9 people. So that's actually challenging and exciting, I'll say. I'm trying to change the narrative rather than being complacent and saying that there is too much competition, so it's difficult, or what should I do about it. So actually, it's encouraging. If you have competition, absolutely good.
Right, very true, very true. And Dr. Mohammad Suleiman, just I would like to add my experience, with what Ekant and Pancham talked about. Because I keep on observing things, and since you have talked about shops, I am in sector 49 here, and we generally go to sector 46 for purchasing. Now, sector 49 also has a good market, but initially it was 46, which was nearby to us. So while we go there, and especially for the kids' stationery products and pencil, pens, and everything, notebooks and all. So in a line, in the small booths in sector 46, there are 3 shops who are selling the same products. They are all into stationery, and these 3 shops have come up, and generally people go to them. Now, see, the first shop is there in the second and the third one, and all of the products, they are available in each of them. All of these, they are available in each of them, and the pricing is also quite similar. So now I would, the second point, I mean, these 3 shops are there, competition is there, and pricing are similar, and the products are also similar. One out of the 3 is a businessman who, I don't know whether others would have felt it or not, but I found him very arrogant as a shopkeeper or a businessman. I found him very arrogant. I mean, while we talk to him, discuss with him, see, his answers are very curt, is to the very point, and somehow, I mean, I felt it was rude also. So I stopped going to the shop, and the shop which is adjacent to him, to that shop, and you won't believe this shop. And I think if you are local, you can visit also. This shop is run by a person who's a special person. He is not able to speak. He is not able to speak. I think he is a deaf and a dumb. But one thing is there. There's always a smile on his face. Whatever you may say, and he has 2-3 helpers who will help him. But initially, when you go to speak to him, and you say, let's say a pen, and on his calculator he'll type, let's say 40 rupees, and you would say a notebook, he'll say 50, and with a smile on his face. So then, like Ekant was talking about building up a story, and herein you say that I have to buy a product. And why not, help somebody who has the courage to start up a shop, go into competition with people who are, in our terms, able-bodied. He's a special person, but the other 2 competitors, they're able-bodied. And this guy has the attitude. He has, he may not have the voice, but he has the communication. I would say he communicates better than those who has the voice and the speech. He does not have the speech, but he is communicating better than those who have the speech by way of his expressions, by way of his smiles, by way of his providing the services, and to his salute to his courage that he is doing, and generally people go to him. So now where is the competition? If he would have thought that, okay, I am not able to speak, I am not able to, listen, what will I do? There will be competition. Why should I put in money? Then he would have not been successful. Rather, he is better than now. He is doing much better than what the other 2 competitors are doing. Just a small take on this. And as you rightly said, I mean, horses for courses, one strategy does not fit all. But what points out here is that you have to think about the customer. You have to have a human resource approach with your customer also, which is very important. because people will go wherein, you know, they said if you want to have a good business, you should have a tongue which is laced with sugar somehow. So yeah, so that is what I thought it was. You would like to add upon something on this?
Sure. So this reminded me of a very big businessman from Chandigarh itself. So उन्होंने मुझे एक टिप दिया था इसी तरह लाइफ में, मतलब I was sitting by and कोई कह लीजिए there was a joint venture and the other person was not a very good business person or a professional. So he tested the waters, moved away and said something to us. So thereby the other person he says me, Ekant, जे business चंगा करना है तो बिल्कुल बेइज्जती तो घबराना नहीं. This was his wordings कि ਇਹ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਓ ਕਿ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸਮੈਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਓ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਹੈ, ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, let him speak. ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਭੱਜ ਲਏ ਕਿ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ. Then we will only be a fighter, we are not a business person. While sitting at a shop, while sitting in a business,
so we need to focus.
Take the feedback and focus on your business. That is it.
Yeah. So very true. So this with this we take on another question. This is by Ma'am Vandana Rai. So she says, what will be your suggestion? And this question she has put across to Mr. Ekant Agarwal, that what will be your suggestions for the students like her who have just started their career in the field of business? So what should be, you know, somebody who just entered the business, who had the courage, I would say, to have entered the field of business, wherein there are a lot of inertia is available in the initial field, a lot of gestation. So what should be the do's and don'ts?
Persistence. Persistence is main. So whatever they are doing, keep it doing. रुकना नहीं है. There are many times हमें feel होता है कि नहीं यार result नहीं आ रहे, या फिर there are many times हमारे friends, हमारे relatives हमें एक feedback देते हैं according to their level of knowledge, which is actually not right, because हमारा purchaser पैदा हो चुका है कहीं और, हमें बस उसको ढूंढना है. हमें हमारे friends, हमारे relatives कई बारी criticize कर देते हैं because we are initial. They will say यार तेनू की पता, तू तो काला काका, या they will say your age is less, या they can say नहीं ये ऐसे नहीं होगा, ये ऐसे करके देखो, which is actually not your creativity, not your idea, not your execution, and the person is not the domain mentor. No, वो किसी और डोमेन का बंदा होगा, किसी और जगह मेंटरिंग दे रहा है आपको. नहीं, उनकी नहीं सुननी है. We have to be persistent in our idea, in our quality, in our creativity, and keep it doing, and there will be followers. हमें चलते जाना और काफिला अपने आप बनता जाएगा, as rightly said by Pancham.
Yeah, Pancham, would you like to add upon your own experience in this line? Because I think whether it's a social entrepreneur or a for-profit, the journey is similar.
Sure.
It's more or less the base is the same. Yeah. I just want to add what he was mentioning in the previous question कि अगर आप बिजनेस में आपको बेशरम होना बहुत जरूरी है. So adding to that, also you have to have an experience of rejections. So जब when I started out, चंडीगढ़ से एकदम Mysore, Bangalore, after 4 years we started our restaurant. तो उस टाइम पे भी एक वो चंडीगढ़ वाला था कि बोलते ना एक टर्म यूज करते हैं हवा खराब, तो वो वाला एक एटीट्यूड था किस चीज का. और रेस्टोरेंट चलाए तो 2 दिन में हवा निकल गई, ऑर्डर लेट हुआ, गाली पड़ा. ऐसे नहीं है. Then again, the people in Bangalore, though they are very sophisticated, they are very polite. So I can't even imagine running a restaurant in Chandigarh or Punjab. तो वो जब गाली खाया और कि लेट हो गया, and it's part of the process. तो गाली खाया, नमक तेज है, ये है वो है, तो all of a sudden I realized यार ये कैसे. तो वो process बड़ा जरूरी था. Or even after starting as an NGO, when we came up with the merchandise, so we used to take up flea markets. तो वहाँ पे we got nice जिसे बोलते हैं ना nice mirror. People they asked questions, ये क्या है, ये क्यों, आप कैसे कर रहे हो. कि unless you do not test the water, या जब तक आप फील्ड में नहीं आपको कुछ नहीं पता रहेगा. और rejections मतलब one has to be comfortable with rejections, and one has to learn to sell. So this is I think one of the key trait of doing anything and everything. So that is something one needs to learn upon. अगर business कुछ शुरू भी करने से पहले you have to learn how to sell and being okay who you are, and so that aspect अगर आपको वो base strong है, then you can work on your other traits कि आपको कैसे करना है, and then you develop your role clarity as per the startup which you're planning to do. But selling has to be a mandate, I say. But it's very sad कि इंडिया में सेल्स को या जो सेलिंग का जब बात करते हैं, so they don't see in a right way. तो वो पर्सपेक्टिव बड़ा एक नेगेटिव है. तो that also has to change. It has to give it, मतलब उसका जो रिस्पेक्ट it is kind of due, I'll say. And even account also said the same कि आपका selling जो ये कमाऊ लड़का जो है, तो it's due. I think it's high time we start acknowledging the sales domain or as a spoke in a business. कि अगर वो वीक है तो आप, मतलब it's saying कि अगर आप दुनिया का बढ़िया से बढ़िया प्रोडक्ट बना दो और अगर दुनिया को नहीं, अगर दुनिया को पता ही नहीं है कि आपने बनाया, then there is no point of doing it. So, and I've seen this a lot. People, they come up with this amazing products, high on tech, everything, मतलब top notch, but they don't know how to sell. तो वो है भी, and then you feel sad for them कि यार इतना जबरदस्त चीज नहीं है, and they are, you know, they're unable to sell just because जो उनका selling skill is not that strong. So बाकी सब it will get taken in terms of technical, in terms of team, everything they'll get it right on paper. When it's come to selling, so that's where they end up, you know, as a failure. So yeah, that's my
very true, very rightly said. And I think I am reminded of if we consider Mr. Chetan Bhagat as one of the entrepreneurs who's from, you know, initially from IIT, then went on to IIM, then he was into one bank, and thereafter he came on to pursue his passion of writing books, and now he's a speaker, and he's charging roughly 7-8 lakh rupees for a 1 hour, 1.5 hour discourse. So he's an entrepreneur in his own right. In one of his books, I'm not remembering the name, he says the 3 qualities that an entrepreneur requires is, you know, very average IQ, not very high IQ, average IQ, the capacity to take risk. This is second, and the capacity to work hard. Average IQ, the capacity to take risk, and the capacity to work hard. So if somebody has these, along with persistence, what Ekant was talking about, so I think this is a complete ingredient. You do not have to be knowing rocket sciences, you do not have to be knowing everything, but yes, you should be firm that, okay, my product is good, my style is good, and this is going to sell. Like he says that there's somebody has been born who will be able to take my product. So that is required, and you have to have, you know, that kind of a persistence in the initial phase, because once it starts rolling, you have the momentum and things will go okay for this. So I think you have an answer for this. Now there's another question by Mr. Lalit. He says that what is the difference between a sole proprietorship and the sole proprietorship? One moment. And one, under Companies Act, they have set up an LLP. What is the difference between the two? A single person company or a sole proprietorship, which was earlier, like in the constitution? What is the difference? And I think Mr. Ekant can take this question.
Sure, definitely. So, you know, sole proprietorship is the oldest style of business, which is actually a single entity. The owner and the business are single. वो दो नहीं है. One person company is separate entities, company is different, and the person is different. So in the eyes of law, there are two people. Second difference, when it is a sole proprietorship, it is an unlimited liability. If there is a loss, the owner is liable and the business is also liable, meaning thereby personal assets are also liable if it is a sole proprietorship. But if it is a OPC, one person company, then the liability is limited. The owner liability is limited to the investment in the company only. Then there is a benefit of taxation. OPC has its separate taxation, but sole proprietor comes under single taxation, that is individual taxation. Then the succession. In case of a sole proprietor, if a person dies, the ownership goes to the other individual in the family or the business is closed. But in succession of a company, in the event of death of a managing member, the nominee can be the owner of the company next, and the company doesn't die. So this is the major differences of a OPC and sole proprietorship. But both are not a good form of business. Let me be very clear. Even Startup India doesn't recognize it. Investors doesn't recognize it. Why? Because if it's an OPC or a sole proprietor, that means that is the single person. We cannot, in today's times, bank on a single person. No. There has to be private limited or a partnership or a LLP. That is limited liability partnership. So either of the three are the best forms of business to do. I hope the question is answered.
Yeah. I think very vividly answered, Mr. Agarwal, and I think this does not leave any scope for further discussion on this aspect. Otherwise, these are all, as per the Companies Act, or otherwise, a lot of literature is available.
Sure.
What is the difference between a public limited company or a private limited LLP and all? And one can always consult experts like Mr. Agarwal or a chartered accountant and would go for, But I think private limited or a public limited company is always better.
Always.
If we are thinking in terms of long term. Yeah. Another question is, by Mr. Sonali Bassi, and a very interesting question for that matter, that how can we find investors in the market, especially they are in the field of education. So I think this is a very interesting take on this, and this becomes a lot of practicability in the subject. How would you attract angel investors or venture capitalists who would like to invest in your business?
So there are two things in this.
Mr. Kant, would you like to answer?
Sure. So there are two things in this now. So one is my answer, जो मेरे ज़हन से निकलेगा, and second is the answer which is actually given in all the meetings, or we can say in startup forums. So I'll give the second answer first, फिर अपने core का answer बाद में दूंगा. So first answer, that is according to the startup markets and everything. So to find investors in the market, we have first is again I'll say Google. We put angel investors, आपको 10 की list मिल जाएगी. Like if I talk about Chandigarh, there is Chandigarh Angel Network. If I talk about Rajasthan, there is Rajasthan Angel Network. If I talk about India, that is Indian Angel Network. Then there are VCs, then there are funds, but we can find them, we can pitch them. Sometimes they are, just stealing your ideas also. That can also happen. Sometimes it is that they will grill you so much, you will go under stress and you will say, my idea is zero. Investor ko pasand nahi aaya, mujhe ye karna hi nahi hai. So now the answer which I want to give, never go to investors. Never go to investor. जो भी आपके पास money है, maybe you can say 10 rupees itself. I have live, examples, people starting from zero. And they are the most successful people. Even if I talk about money given by an investor or a family or a fool, there are two types of investors, friends and fools. Fools are the people who believe in you. So if you have money of a fool or a friend with you, that is not actually your money. You will not spend it wisely. Mark my words, you will not spend it wisely. But if you have even 10 rupees of yours, you will think while spending. Bootstrap your company. Start it with yourself. If you cannot convince your mother, you cannot convince your sister, you cannot convince your brother, you cannot convince your father, nobody is going to convince with your business idea. First investors, you, your family, start with it, grow, have traction, have customers, do acquire them. Once 100, 200 people believe in you, then you may try for investors. Then they will definitely believe in you. और तब तक बात इतनी फैल चुकी होगी वो खुद आ जाएंगे कि यार कितने % stake दोगे. Because they also want to make money. Those are, big time sharks, which actually want something better than gold, something better than stock market, something better than real estate. That is the reason they invest in an idea and get 40% returns. Be careful. जैसे एक वो बाहर, घर के बाहर बोर्ड होता था पहले, जहाँ पे भी एक pet dog होता था. Beware, dog inside. So beware of investor. Always beware. Right? So they are sharks.
So I think that answers the questions very perfectly. and includes both the wisdom part also and the theory part also.
Right.
So I think this is right. If you have a product which could be sold, then I think people will follow you. People will follow you. But you have to build up that product first with your persistence, and they should know that there's a product like this which is available. As a, yeah, Pancham, would you like to add upon?
Yes, like to be honest, I'm like feeling so happy to hear from him because even we are bootstrap, and we over this course of time we had so many meetings. Obviously, where when there were times when we used to reach out to investors, and there were times when we used to get invited that we want to invest in you, or we want to get a stake out of you. But I'm so happy and relieved that coming from a legal person, that it's not okay to go to an investor. So even I more or less believe the same thing. Like unless you are not convinced by yourself, then how can you expect another person to be convinced by your idea? If this is the idea, first you have to convince yourself once. Unless you put your money into it, so even at times even the investor, they might even come and say, okay, why haven't you invested? Like if you are not sure about your idea, how do you think I'll be interested in your idea? So पहले तो अपने आप को convince करना बहुत जरूरी है. And then again, it's debatable. Also, there are people, those who got funded, so that they can scale up. And again, it's person to person. Also, like I have another friend who was looking for got some investment into his company, and it actually helped him to scale. But that will happen once you have crossed that phase. Once you're already doing remuneration. So he was already clocking a turnover of, let's say, 2 crore, and the next year they were clocking a turnover of 14 crores. So unless you reach to a level, then obviously the investors will come up and reach out to, rather than starting from scratch just with an idea, and you say that I need an investment, I need to pitch to an angel investor. That won't happen, or if it happens, I don't know what does the investor as well as the startup. So yeah, so that's my take. I'll say so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So nice. I think we are on the same page, all of us, on this aspect. So Sonali Basi also says that whether can you recommend any book on business plan? Any book on business plan, how to draw up a
really. I'll say just follow your heart. That is the biggest book. Maybe the pointers I've shared and your heart. That is it. Be real, be creative. People will love it.
Very true. And I think while Ms. Basi, while we are talking about business plan, the pointers have already been discussed in detail by Ekant also, and to some extent Pancham also, and in my initial talk also I mentioned. Basically, it's a kind of just structuring your business, and planning means what has to be done in the future. So you should be knowing what will be your products, how will you be selling these products, that means the commercial aspect, how will you manufacture that product, whether if you are in manufacturing, who will be your team, then what will be your financial sustainability or the estimation in terms of drawing up an estimated balance sheet, your cost of project, means of financing, from what will be the total security aspect into this, the DSCR, the various ratios. Then you have to talk about how the economy is supporting that product, whether the kind of legal complications or legal compliances are required, what are the utilities required for this, how will you incorporate that company, then social cost benefit analysis. So these are 5-6 we term it bankers also. While if you go there for loan, the last session that we did was on project appraisal. So you can just go on the IHRDI YouTube channel and write project appraisal. Therein 2 eminent bankers, one from ICICI Bank, other from Indian Bank. They had shared their experience, how they see while somebody approaches them for a loan. So so you approach them with a business plan, and with your business plan they will appraise your project. So what do they see therein? And it is all similar. They say it as a techno-economic feasibility report. So the technical aspects, machinery and all this, how will you manufacture? The financial aspect, the projected balance sheets and everything, the cost of project, means of financing, the revenues, the sales, the profitability portions, and the economic aspects, wherein how the economy is supporting, how the government is supporting that product, and add to it the social impact analysis or the social cost benefit analysis. So you have a complete report on this. So today's session, and go on Google, and the various headings are available, and then fill in the blanks in those headings. So I think this is what is required in that sense, and that will be okay on this. Okay, so is already written. Thanks. So I think we have tried to answer. Now, my question to Pancham, what I was feeling like, that Pancham, are you getting some projects from, as an NGO? There are certain projects, like you said, railways, you're getting some projects. So are you getting some projects in NGO from the government of India and the state governments also to work on this aspects of, bringing about equity and inclusiveness for the specially abled persons?
So as I said, we started as an NGO, but now off late, or I would say off late, like way back in 2015-16, we stopped working as an NGO. So we now work more on more as an implementing partners. So when we are registered as vendors with Indian Railways, so wherein we do projects directly with Indian Railways through a tender process, and then few projects we take up as CSR, where then again we work as implementing partners with the sponsors or the companies who would like to do the CSR. And now we do as our own, I would say, individual CSR, I'll say. So now, whenever some blind school, when they ask for, Braille signs, so that is something which we give it from our end. And we do some sort of awareness programs. We give sessions on disability awareness. So that's something the core is still there, wherein we do at our end. And again, the intent is to generate that sort of a revenue wherein we are not even dependent on others to, to do some sort of initiative. So if there is a blind school, if they ask you that, these are our requirements, so we can do it all by ourselves, as in from the wealth we generate. So we have changed the entire thing, and now we work more as a social enterprise, and now we register as an MSME. So we have our own setup of Braille. I mean, the all manufacturing happens in Mohali. So yeah, that's it. So now we are actually comfortable with that way.
And you're looking after the profitability aspects also.
Yes, of course. So we make profits, and then whenever any school when they reach out to us, I remember when we started out, whenever just we did the Mysore railway station. So there was a blind school. They had asked for signages. So we did not have money back then. So then somehow we had to, crowdsource. We had to literally go out and ask for money, which personally I was not very comfortable with. And again, NGOs is a sector where people they look up to. Even if you're doing genuine work, they still raise a question ki ye paisa iska jeb mein to nahi ja raha. So that sort of perception they have. So I was very uncomfortable. I didn't want to get into that sort of a phase. So I'm like more or less I'm more happy. Like now we even have a Braille merchandise where we sell products, and part of the profits we say that it will help to provide Braille signages to 100 blind schools. So that's the mission now, to provide Braille signages to 100 blind schools. So I'm in a way more comfortable doing it this way than the other way around, where you just go and ask for funds.
Thank you, and I think that answers the questions. There were a set of opinions by Dr. Kamal Ere, and initially he said that business is all about common sense and management aspects, and somebody who has common sense, he'll be able to, and a good IQ and education, he'll be able to run the business. And now his other observation is that the businessman should be sensitive to the societal needs. And like how the oxygen scarcities have come up on this. So I think this is a topic which is quite a huge topic in terms of discussion and reference. The profitability aspect on one hand side, and the social aspect on the other hand side. And I think if I am not qualified to make a sweeping statement, but we have seen world over. While the society was at distress in terms of world wars or epidemics or otherwise, some part of the society was busy in making profiteering or making profits. So that explains how an injection, which the cost is worth 2,000 rupees, selling at rupees 40,000 rupees, and how somebody else, I would say, a very bad need of some product, maybe a question of life and death, becomes an opportunity for somebody. So would you like to answer this, or how do you go?
So just, sometimes I feel like there are right people on the right place, and they do then wonders. Like example in my relatives itself. So my brother-in-law, he was into pharma itself, but into supplying of big time chemical tankers. And suddenly in this 2000, there was lockdown, and he bought some sanitizers at home, and he says कि यार जो इसमें ethyl और alcohol वगैरह ये तो हम बेच रहे हैं टैंकर्स में, तो मैं अगर इसकी छोटी बॉटल्स बनाऊंगा, people are selling for 3,000 rupees for a liter, मैं तो इसको 600 रुपए में लॉन्च कर दूंगा. Think about it. So I said, why don't you start it? कहते हैं नहीं, मुझे मैं ये रिटेल सेल मुझे आती नहीं है. मैंने कहा वो मैं करूंगा, अब बनाओ. And you won't believe his growth in this pandemic through these sanitizers, it's 10x into retail, and people are going there buying themselves. He has to do nothing. वो फैक्ट्री से खुद उठा के लेके आते हैं, अपनी दुकान पे बेचते हैं. That is maybe the answer. Sometimes it's opportunity, right person on the right place, and it clicks.
So this is fine. See, if you are making a reasonable profit, then
Yes,
that is okay. My question and that query was, like somebody now, Mr. Olak has also talked about, now airlines charging 6 times. Today
That is
Delhi
That is
Mumbai
fine.
flight is around 1 lakh rupee. This was what
That
I
is
was
fine.
reading in Times of India today, which will generally be maybe 10,000 rupees. Today it is 1 lakh rupee. So the
Really
profitability on one side and profiteering on the other end side.
That is
General
wrong.
profitability, nobody will deny. Even let's say this Remdesivir, generally it will cost 2,000 rupees, and even in 2,000, all the logistic channels, they will have their own cuts. But selling this 2,000 rupees medicine today at 40,000 or even 60,000, because maybe there is some buyer who knows that life is very important, and for so that aspect, how how do we balance this aspect? Or somehow, this is about the greed, I would say, greed of human.
People are not humans now.
Yeah.
People are really not humans. I tell you, I feel sad about it. There was, initially in 2000 itself, there was a doctor in the newspapers as well. Any patient who used to go, what he used to do is, you are corona positive, operates upon him, take out the kidney, and yes, 80 kidneys he stole, just saying that patient has corona, and the body is not handed over because it is corona. Think about the greed of the people, and they don't know what they are doing. This will happen with them also. Karma is there. जो दूध में यूरिया मिला रहा था, उसको नहीं पता होता कि उसका बच्चा भी वही दूध पिएगा. वो जिस दिन रियलाइज हो गया, ये काम खत्म हो जाएगा.
So I think, because the karma is always there and everything is there, but I think, as a professional, I would say that our compliance system and the government regulatory system is not that way very strong to enforce that kind of a fear, I would say.
Yes.
Why this does not happen in Saudi Arabia? Because they know even if you see at somebody, they will pluck the eyes, they will cut your hands. And I may sound to you a little, traditionalistic and a savage kind of a thing in today's modern thing. But I think that fear has to be there, especially those people who do it for profiteering or for a matter of greed. That way, they don't have any kind of need problem. It is a lust for money. They would always have so much money available with them, but this is the lust for money. And I think we can start off with our own family, everybody, and can bring in injection our kids not to do it, and then be a role model to our kids as such. So if we do it, they'll also do it. It is as simple as that. So otherwise, I don't think we have an answer to this. The societies are like this only. Humans
I can share a small example in this.
Yeah,
very
please.
Small example, very quickly.
Please.
So in a session, somebody asked me कि ये हमारे इंडिया में, people generally criticize their own country, which we should not do. So the question was, हमारे इंडिया में चोरी बढ़ गई है, या लोग एक दूसरे को लूट रहे हैं, या जैसे ये ब्लैक मार्केटिंग वगैरह सब चल रही है. So my answer was कि यार जब आप घर में जब एक छोटा बच्चा पैदा हुआ, अभी वो बोलना सीख रहा है, very excitedly he picks up the phone, ring bell बजी, फादर का फोन उठा लिया और वो बोल रहा, पापा आपका फोन आया है, शर्मा जी ने फोन किया है. And what Papa says is, बेटा उसको कहते मैं घर पे नहीं हूं. That is the seed sown by us into our kids. वो पहली चोरी सिखा दी आपने. बेटे का दिल भी नहीं कर रहा, because nobody is born a liar. No. वो झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहता, वो सोचता है पापा आप तो हो, आप तो सामने खड़े हो। कहता है नहीं तुझे बोलना ना, तू बाप बन रहा है मेरा, दो लगाऊंगा कान के नीचे, बोल दे इसको। एंड व्हेन ही सेज कि पापा घर पे नहीं आएगा, शाबाश मेरा बेटा, ये ले चॉकलेट खा, ही इज रिवॉर्डेड देयर, एंड देन ही बिकम्स अ थीफ, जो आज हम सिचुएशन फील कर रहे हैं और सामने है हमारे। दैट इज द रीजन। If we start doing it from our homes itself, giving honesty, truth to our kids, we will change. Everybody will change.
Very, very good. So I think that is what is required. And generally, I think we have covered everything. So I would request both of the panelists to just have a last word, starting with Pancham first now. Just have a last word on today's discussion that was that we initiated, and then followed by Ekant, and then thereafter I'll sum it up, and then we'll wind it up.
It was a wonderful session. So much of insights. मतलब काफी मजा आया, मतलब पता भी नहीं लगा. Very nice session. Happy to share my share of thoughts also, and also to I hope I was able to deliver some value to the people who are listening to us, and nice insights from Ekantji also. And just to sum up, I'll say, even just to continue from the discussion. So it's, I mean, there are no shortcuts actually. मतलब आप चाहे दूध में डालोगे कहीं ना कहीं, अब नहीं तो 10 साल बाद, तो I think कहते हैं ना, ऊपर वाला भी बड़ा फास्ट हो गया, तो वो उल्टा जो कर्मा वाला है वो भी इंस्टेंट कर्मा है ना, साथ के साथ आपको मिल जाता है. So, and I've seen this personally. Even I would say कि मैं बिल्कुल एकदम clean था. Initially I tried all those shortcuts है ना, कि ऐसे कर सकते हैं वैसे कर सकते हैं. It doesn't work. मतलब end of the day you will realize कि अगर तुम अपना सही काम करोगे, आगे जाके वो अपने आप वो चीज ठीक रहेगा. So there are no shortcuts, and let's strive to be a better versions of ourselves. So that's the whole point, rather than pointing fingers कि ऐसे है वैसे है. First we have to look deep into and introspect ourselves. Be more conscious and aware कि what sort of a person you are and what sort of person you want to be. So
Right. Thanks, Pancham. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mr. Ekant, your last word on this, and then followed it by Dr. Sharma. First, let Ekant speak, and then you sum it up. Yeah.
It was a wonderful
after
session.
Mr. Ekant, Mr. Sharma will come up. Yeah.
So it was a very wonderful session. I must thank Dr. Sanjeev Chheda and Panchamji for giving me also some erudition in my life, which I'll remember always. Plus, at the as said by sir, I'll give my last words. That is a quotation of Swami Vivekananda ji. I always speak. It says, "Rise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." Rise, we always rise. Everybody rises in the morning, but we are not awake. So we have to awaken ourselves with the goal, and then we have to stop not till the goal is reached. That is it. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah. Dr. S.K. Sharma is with us. He is, one of my very wonderful friend. He retired as a general manager from the New India Insurance Company, and today he's a full-fledged trainer. And we invite him many times to MGC also on soft skills. He's a master in RTI, especially, and he's a advocate also. He's LLB now, LLM also. Yeah, Dr. Sharma, please go ahead.
Sir, I would like to add one or two things. What I have experienced in today's webinar, this is the best webinar so far in the last 43 times I had. Is that, say, in a very crisp, simple, and easily say understandable language. Like he told me, Mr. Ekant, SWOT analysis, वो बताया कि भाई when it is threat and when it is an opportunity, and you will never forget. So we have been teaching many times. So was the case with Mr. Pancham. He has explained the nitty-gritty in such a very practical manner. I think everybody must have grasped the things very nicely. And we all are grateful to Professor Chheda for giving us an opportunity on this platform. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. And I think you really summed it up very well. The smiles on the faces after 2 hours. And on a webinar kind of a platform tells us that actually it was interesting. And the otherwise, you tend to get bored. The span of attention is so limited, especially even in a physical class. But in a webinar class, having around 2 hours and then still smiling, and nobody's yawning, everybody's smiling. So it means that the session has went very well. And I am reminded of what Einstein said. He says, "How is your theory of relativity applicable to common people?" He says that if you are with a beautiful female, even lifetime will just be like a few seconds. But if you just sit on a nail, even a few seconds will seem like eternity. So that is what the quality of life and the quality of time is therein. So I think we have all enjoyed out here, and many thanks to the wonderful speakers.
Sir, I'd like to add one more thing.
Yeah, please.
Today we had maximum number of participants.
Yeah, we had good number today. More than 50 people had joined, and I'd like to thank the YI team also, including Mr. Gautam and Mr. Dev Jyoti, because YI or Young Indian team, whose Pancham is the president or the chair.
Gautam from CII had also said.
Yeah, because he is the one who's coordinated this collaboration with YI. So we'll thank him also for this. And I think the best part is that we have reached young entrepreneurs, young people who, even out of all these 50 people, even if one starts an entrepreneurial venture out of this and draws up a business plan and gets some investment, so we'll be the most happiest persons around. So with this with these words, friends, we come to an end of this wonderful webinar on the topic, which is business plan, how to draw up a business plan. That is the first activity any business person who would like to be an entrepreneur should know about this. A scientific method of drawing up a plan wherein entire estimation in terms of the financial aspects, technical aspects, economic aspects, promoters, the team, the utilities, the government compliance, everything should be on board. And this helps us to pitch us and to grow and to see where we have reached as such. And when we talk about the Flipkart, Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal, how they came about and drawing a Flipkart, and at the age of just 28 to 30 years, their assets have touched around around 40 to 50,000 crores at just the age of 28, 30 years. So this is due to the entrepreneurial spirit and the business venture, and somebody's need becomes an opportunity for the other person. Somebody's need is an opportunity for other person. This is what you have to see. If there is a need of somebody, something, then you have an opportunity to go into market and fulfill that need. This is what business is all about. So I think we have talked about all this, and many thanks to Mr. Pancham and Mr. Ekant Agarwal for having spared their time, valuable time, I would say, especially on a Sunday afternoon. And I would also like to thank the YI, including Mr. Dev Jyoti and Mr. Gautam, who have facilitated this collaboration with Young India. And would like to thank the lovely audience today. We had, as Dr. Sharma said, more than 50 people joined us, especially the young persons from various schools, colleges, I would say, and their teachers also who joined us today. And these 2 hours seemed just like 20 minutes, and it just passed. Then I would also like to thank the IHRDI team comprising of Sanya, comprising of Dr. S.K. Sharma, Dr. Mohammad Suleiman, JPS Talwar, Mr. Jeet Kumar Gupta, Dr. Saibi, who work the entire week to come out with such good topics. Then talking to the prospective resource persons, then coming out with the posters and everything. Then later on, all these participants will be getting a feedback form also, which they fill up, and then they'll get a e-certificate also, and the recording will also be available on the YouTube channel IHRDI. So those who have not filled up the form here, so you can just ping upon my WhatsApp number 8727857116. I repeat, 8727857116, and thereafter we'll send you the e-certificate and also the recording of this wonderful session. So friends, till we meet next time on any other topic which you will be giving to us in suggestions, be safe, be sound, be healthy, and have good immunity, have good food, and keep on smiling, keep on laughing, because that is the best immunity. Put your time to good aspects rather than wondering and cribbing and negative forces. So friends, till that time, goodbye to all of you. Thank you, namaskar, and sayonara. Recording.